I just got a question for everybody. How many of you would like to see a racism? Now, if any of you answered yes, then I need you to just please walk out. Holy shit, you need help, every single one of you. Holy God. But I will oblige you. So we have two people here. One is called Tyson Hockley, and the other is called Chud the Builder. And I have not heard of either of these two chucklefucks before. However, let's see what words they have to say.
We're in America, bro. They want to threaten your life, you take theirs. You put them on the ground, and you go live on Kick. You say, look at this dumb laying dead on the ground.
You know, I hadn't watched the clip yet, so I wasn't aware that we were getting hit with that much shit. Holy fuck. So I wonder what the context for this is. But realistically, what would be the point? Because there's only one type of person who fantasizes about a black person getting themselves in a situation where it is justifiable for you to kill them. Only one. And that kind of person typically uses disparaging slurs to describe black people because they like to disparage them as much as humanly possible. So I don't know, guys. You do the math on that one. You do the math. So that escalated quickly?
Holy shit, bro. Dude.
Also, saying, like, let me stream a murder on Kick. Let me stream a murder on Kick is wild. It is fucking wild. But I promise you all, this is leading up to something.
That's how you go. That's how you go viral. You'll get double the followers you got.
Yeah, there's no way to go viral. Like, I don't think that's spreading a great message.
Yeah, I don't want to have to kill them, but if they threaten your life, dude, you do it. You gotta stand up for your own. What do you back down? You say, oh no.
They're just kind of promoting division in the world, though, right? Like, two wrongs don't make it right, you know?
No, because it teaches them. No, it goes back to not lying to them. It teaches them the truth. That they have no power over you as a man simply because your skin's lighter than theirs. We're in America.
Okay, so again, there's only one kind of person who waxes lyrical about this, doing everything they possibly can to justify killing other human beings. There's only one kind of person who fantasizes about it, and there's only one kind of person who fantasizes about it because of race. And I'm just going to say right now, that kind of person is facing up to 60 years in federal prison. It's almost like when people wax lyrical about this shit, there's something they're trying to communicate that you might want to listen to. Anywho, let's take a read. Let's take a read. So, controversial streamer Chud the Builder faces up to 60 years in prison after courthouse shooting. Dalton Etherly, the controversial live streamer known as Chud the Builder, faces up to 60 years in prison after a courthouse shooting incident. On May 15th, he appeared in Tennessee court for his arraignment and bond hearing after he was detained for allegedly shooting a man outside of a courthouse 2 days earlier. The internet personality, who was known for his online live streams, streaming his racist confrontations with black pedestrians. Ah! There it is! There it is! Only one kind of person. Only one kind of person. Luckily, he shot in a place full with cops. Sounds like a brilliant idea. Yeah, sounds like a brilliant idea. Absolutely. What an idiot. What a fucking idiot. Said fucking dumbass? Yep. Absolutely. Maybe we take a look at some of his clips and see kind of what's going on there. But anything I'm looking up is just like, it's not even scenes from him. It's just people covering the shooting, which, you know, makes perfect sense. Let's see here. The internet personality, who was known online for live streaming racist confrontations with black pedestrians, was detained on May 13th by criminal investigators and charged with attempted murder, employing a firearm during a dangerous felony, aggravated assault, and reckless engagement with a deadly weapon. Only one kind of person, everybody. Lightstream says, just saw your video of online space hate and just going to give my take on the first half. The grifters, as you call them, or grifters as other leftists call them, that call out leftist creators like Hassan, iDubbbz, and others for their bad take or hypocrisy are a good thing in my opinion. And while you call some of the content, man, I hate when it scrolls while I'm reading. And while you call some of the content creators I watch violent, I do not see them as such. Okay, cool. That's an opinion. You didn't name any of the content creators. You didn't give any context. You just said, I disagree. Okay, cool. I don't care. You've given me no reason to give a shit about your opinion yet, because you've backed it up with nothing. I think this is good because I think it's good. And also, I like these creators, and I disagree. Congratulations. You have given a thesis. You have not backed it up. Anywho, according to an arrest warrant obtained by CNN and the Associated Press, Earthly got into a verbal argument with another man. He turned his body towards the man in a bladed stance. He reached into his jacket pocket for a firearm, and a physical altercation followed. Man, the guy who has an entire career based around confronting people and just trying to rile them up all the time found himself in a violent confrontation? That's so strange. That's so weird. That's so weird. The Associated Press reported that Etherly fired his weapon, striking the man multiple times. The man was transported to a hospital in Nashville via helicopter, where he underwent emergency surgery and is now in stable condition per the news agency, citing an affidavit. CNN identified the alleged victim as Joshua Fox, a black disabled veteran. Oh boy, you couldn't have picked a better target to make every single thing you've ever done look way worse. Absolutely worse. And, you know, it's really weird to me that shortly after the shooting, Amir Odom is reacting to those clips. Maybe I'll just use that as a springboard, though. Put himself in a hostile situation and made it violent? Yeah, again, like, when you make your career off of putting yourself in constantly hostile situations to aggravate people for no reason other than to get clicks on your live stream, and then you wax lyrical in one of those live streams about engineering a scenario where somebody can die, it's really weird when you seem to have engineered a scenario where you feel like you're justified in shooting a guy. Weird. Thank you for the hydrate, Jessica. During his court appearance in May, a General Session Court judge set a $1.25 million bond on Etherly, citing how many people were in the courtyard over here at the courthouse and the seriousness of all those felonies. The judge also said that attempted criminal homicide carries a possible sentence of 15 to 60 years in a Tennessee state penitentiary. In a statement to People, Etherly's attorney Jacob Fenley said he couldn't share much about a pending case, but said that his office had received hateful phone calls and emails after agreeing to take the streamer on as a client. No, duh! You took on a guy famous for making people's lives miserable, and people basically called you a shitter for taking on the case? Weird. Sean says, that's why you do Let's Plays or stream your video games. You're less likely to get in trouble. Sure, you're not touching grass, but at least you're not going to get in trouble, especially if you're doing that. Again, the dude sounded like he was obsessed with getting viral moments that can, like, spread around on the internet. You double your followers if you just shot a black guy, dude. My God. What a weirdo. Also, Lightstrained, it's still really weird that you never defined what ATAB means. You just kind of said it. Anyway, let's see here. Featherly said a statement that his role is to represent people regardless of their race, religion, ideology, and allegations. This entire case is disturbing. Racism is a terrible thing, and it's a flawed method of thinking. Etherly made headlines in the days before his attempted murder charges, where he was arrested and charged with theft of services, disorderly conduct, and resisting arrest. Again, I don't think resisting arrest should ever be a charge. After he allegedly refused to pay a nearly $400 bill at a Nashville steakhouse. How do you accomplish that? How do you accomplish a $400 bill at a steakhouse? Saki and I together. Saki and I... Oh, hold on. Lightstrain said that it stands for all trans people are bastards. So you've simultaneously said, I actually don't think that my content creators that I watch are violent or are violent or hateful, which is a thing that can lead to violence. I don't believe that at all. Let me just spout hate into... not a microphone, but just into the chat. Let me just spout hatred real quick. Ah, right. So you're actually an idiot then. Like, I'm gonna derail for just a second to explain to you how nightmarishly fucking stupid you are, because I think it's really funny, and I want my chat to get a bit of entertainment out of you before you leave. Coming into a chat, defending a bunch of streamers, and not giving any evidence to back that up is funny, because it's just a argument that comes from emotion. It doesn't come from anywhere else. It doesn't explain anything else. It's just you saying a thing. That's it. Who cares? Also, posting a video, Trans Killer says she executed parents because mom tried to stop her gender surgery. Congratulations. You found a trans person who killed somebody. And what argument does that make? Doesn't make any. You understand that that is called an anecdote, and anecdotes are not data. That's not how data works. When we look at trends to make actual informed guesses or informed statements, you don't just grab a handful of random fucking occurrences and go, this is emblematic of everything. No, that makes you look like a dumb child. A dumb child is the kind of person who looks at a single scenario and then believes that that is representative of everything around them in the world. An adult, somebody who's lived and breathed in this world and paid taxes at least once or twice, generally knows that a singular scenario in the world is not emblematic of everything they will ever encounter in regards to the people that are part of that scenario. You find one racist black person, it doesn't mean that all black people are racist. You find one white Klansman, it doesn't mean that all white people are racist. You find somebody who kills somebody because of racism, it doesn't mean that that's part of a giant trend. It might, but it doesn't necessarily mean that automatically. And you find one trans person who killed her parents, congratulations. You found the equivalent of a singular thing. You found a lone wolf. And what's your point? What is your point? Also, I'm going to go ahead and guess that the reason that you posted that is because we're going over a content creator who you probably like, let's be honest, who killed somebody, from what it seems, in cold blood for no fucking reason, and has a history of trying to justify that situation happening. And yet, somehow, for some reason, you think that, oh, the tu quoque fallacy uniquely doesn't apply to me. Weird. I'm going to suggest a couple of things for you. One, probably grow up. Go out into reality. Make friends. Stop watching streamers on the internet. All of us are goddamn morons. Not a single one of us have any expertise in the shit we're talking about. But we do care about it, and that's about as far as most of us have to go. Now, there are some who do have expertise, like Forrest Falkai. There are exceptions to that rule. But I promise you, a lot of people on the left, and a hell of a lot of people on the right, spout opinions and spout emotions. And then when you take that and synthesize it to create your own personal worldview, of course you would come to the conclusion that people who spread hatred and violence aren't actually spreading hatred and violence. Because you're not thinking for yourself. You're letting a bunch of content creators think for you. Don't do that. There's a reason I fight with my chat as often as I do. I never want this to become a place of sycophants. I never want this to become a place where people feel like my opinion is law, or that they will get kicked out because they have something that is against my opinion. So except the PhD history streamers. Again, there are some people who have the expertise, but by and large, it's not the majority of us. Disagreement discourse number one. Once someone has gone through full sex change, you may not know. Says the R slur. Even if someone's had trans surgery, some people can always... Wait, but you know how dumb a statement some people can always tell is? What is some? Is it one person? Is it the person's mom? Is it their best friend who can always tell little bits of them that are still there pre-surgery? Is it random people who have clairvoyance out in the world? Also, why should I care about any of those random people? Also, Jessica, once again, as I have said multiple times, I can handle this. You don't help anything when you're doing that. Rather it be forehead, jawbone structure, Adam's apple. Again, you know that cis women can have square jaws, right? You know that cis women can have differently shaped foreheads, right? I don't need your weird fucking phrenology coming in here. And again, that doesn't prove anything. Your statement quite literally boils down to, well, some people can tell. Okay, cool. That is a statement without a number. I don't give a shit about some people. I don't have to give a shit about some people. I've never had to give a shit about some people. Because once again, you seem to have this really weird fixation that singular instances is emblematic of an entire trend. Some people can tell, therefore... No, that doesn't fucking mean anything. God. I bet money this guy's just actually Thrag. He doesn't have the same typing structure as Thrag.
We got 18 rounds for you. We ain't got nothing else. Don't follow me in my truck. Like, I mean, you're pandering to the bro. We already know that's what you're doing.
I have 18.
It's really weird to constantly put yourself in a scenario where you are... The only thing that can possibly follow from it is violence. That's it. That's it. Like, what is the point of that? What is the point of that? What benefit do you get from that? It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, it's just, it's somebody who is so obsessed with content that they ignore the fact that the people around them are, you know, in fact, people. Weird. Anyway.
Man.
What the fuck?
What the fuck? Because you see a white girl dating a black man? It's not the 1950s anymore. You can do that. This isn't Holes anymore. Was it Holes? I don't think it was Holes. The one where the girl fell in love with a slave and he said I could fix that. Was it Holes? I feel like I'm incorrect on that one. I don't think it was Holes. Jassa says, I just got on the phone with Grandma. I love when she talks about the Jewishness and calling BB modern-day Hitler. Good. Said Holes was more modern-day. Yeah, I don't... They said, no, it was. That was Holes? That was Holes where that one is from? Okay. Yeah, we don't live in that time anymore, my guy.
Hey, is this black guy bothering you?
Like, why?
Yeah, I don't get it either. Again, you keep saying shit like that. It's no wonder you finally found yourself in an altercation where you fired a gun. Weird. I said it was Holes? What the fuck? Yeah, it was... If memory serves, dude died at the end of that, didn't he? I mean, it's been years since I've watched it. Said this Chud guy's a fucking loser. It is some of the most hobbyless behavior. Like, still doing a racism, unironically, in 2026. Said, wait, are we agreeing with Amir? Look, every now and again, the pick-me realizes that people on his side, might not actually be on his side.
Being brown.
Holy shit, we're bringing America back. Freedom of speech, sir. No more tipping out. Get out of the road, nigga.
You look at the white man, we're bringing freedom of speech back.
Yeah, no, we agree with Amir on this one, weirdly enough. Because, no, I'm sorry. This was only a matter of time. Like, there were only 3 scenarios this guy could have possibly found himself in. Victim of violence, because he kept egging it on. A guy who enacted violence because he felt like he was justified because he egged somebody on and then he ended up in jail. That's the one that actually happened. And then finally had sex for the first time in his life and realized that everything he's been doing up to this point has been completely useless and abandons it to actually go start a family and be a normal member of society. But he's not doing that part, obviously. He's gonna rot in jail, which is really funny. Again, from the first clip, said he has a child. Oh, then that scenario was never gonna happen. This really is sexless behavior. Man. Said his wife left him and took the kids. Man, that's really funny. Can his wife please have left him for a black man? Please? Can we please get Elon Musk 2 Electric Boogaloo here, where his wife leaves him for a trans person and so he starts an entire campaign about it? Like, I'm not a person who's going to try to give fuel to the fire, the great replacement theory bullshit, but there are some times where I look at the way people are scared of getting fucked out of existence somehow and just go, huh, man. God, it would be so funny if... Said a trans black man would be perfect? Exactly. Exactly. Anywho, that's that situation. I figured we would want to make fun of somebody who deserved every single bit of what's coming to him. Because sometimes we need to have a laugh at somebody else's expense when they are some of the worst people imaginable. Hey, you made it to the end. I want to give an extra thanks to the patrons who allow me to do this full time. I want to thank Aaron Rail, Astral, Britzkrieg, Jemshin, Poundini, Red Joker, Victoria, Jonas, Craig, Tarika, Fireshard, Smiling GM, John, Dren Hadamada, Creeper, Sagitta, you know I'm not saying that last part, Sylvie Snow, Valis of Seraph, Ottoman Angel, Rooster Rachel, and Fire Panda, who are all my $20 and up patrons.